Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall Gruyter. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter.
Welcome, everyone. I hope that you are having an amazing day. And I'm honored to be connecting in with you. In July, we have been looking at how do we show up as summer stars, take center stage. How do we do that in a way that we are not treating life like a dress rehearsal? Next time I'll fully show up. Next time will really count. This time counts. So how are we doing the things we need to do, being what we need to be able to take that center stage in a way that we're able to shine what truly matters to us, really hold that space? I have two amazing guests today. I know you're going to enjoy hearing from them. They're actually guests that if you've been following us for a while, you would have heard from before they were releasing their beautiful books. And so now we have the privilege and the opportunity to talk with them as their books have gone out into the world and been received in such a powerful way. The wisdom and insight they're able to share with us is not only their content has been created and brought to the world, it's having an amazing impact on the world. And we get to be served by that as we hear from them, their wisdom, their insights, and what their experience has been like, so that we're able to do those things we need to do to truly take center stage in our life. Now, I want you to get the most out of our time together today. So I want to invite you to stop for a moment. Be still. Slow down. Allow yourself to catch up with yourself. In fact, let's take a deep breath in through the nose, all the way to your toes. Expand, stretch, breathe in that beautiful oxygen. There's time and space for all. Breathe out, releasing what no longer serves. And keep breathing mindfully and purposely as you breathe in, really feeling the oxygen support you, every cell in your body. Breathing out, releasing all that is complete, creating room and space for more. I know that you are here for a reason, that you are tuning in today because there is something here for you. And I want you to be present, to really be able to receive that, to have that space. So it's key to choose to be fully present, to create room and space, a heart to receive, ears to hear all that is being presented, being lovingly brought to you today. In fact, let's take a moment and just take this a little bit deeper. Let's close our eyes. You are absolutely safe. Take another beautiful breath in. Breathe out. Put both hands on your heart. Notice you're absolutely safe. Feel, hear, notice all that is going on around you. And as your hands rest on your heart, notice the beat of your heart, beat by beat. And notice the pause within the beats. What is your heart wanting to share with you today? As you pause and you lean in, what is your heart wanting you to know or remember or own? Be aware of. Notice. What is it you need today to encourage and empower you to take center stage in your life? What do you need? Beautiful. Let's take another deep breath. Eyes open, coming back into the room, fully present. I even move my shoulders a little bit to help me become fully present. And take a moment to write down what was laid on your heart that you need and are willing to receive. Because you have choice. So what is it that you need and are willing to receive today? We're not asking you how, we're asking what. And our goal today is to help give you some tools to put in your toolbox, some of the how, to support and encourage and empower you. Beautiful. I'm going to go around our virtual room and bring each of our guests on and just see when they took a moment to stop, pause, and listen what was laid on their heart. So Ramona, I'd love to start with you. What was laid on your heart?
Oh, just complete gratitude for being here and just what has brought me here. I spent many years just really hurting and really struggling, and the freedom I have found feels like going from a world of black and white to a world of color, and I want that for everyone that wants it.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And we celebrate your world of full color. It's beautiful. I love it.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And Kay, how about you? What was laid on your heart?
Hi, good morning. Just the pause. The pause was laid on my heart, and just that's a word I've been using in my life recently, and just how important that pause is. And yeah, since my book launch and everything, I've needed to pause with and just take some breaks. So yeah, I think that's what's in my heart, is reminding myself how good that is for me.
I love that reminder of the pause and how powerful it is.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And I find that too, when life accelerates, I can sometimes forget that, or because I get busy doing the next thing. And when I remember and I stop and I pause, it feels really good. And it grounds me, it focuses me, and I'm actually able to be more mindful and purposeful in how I move forward. So my actions are more effective, I find, or impactful, because I pause and remember to do so. So thank you, Kay, for sharing. I appreciate that. And I'm grateful every show that we have this practice of deliberately, mindfully pausing so that I can build that into my life on a weekly and daily basis. Listeners, how about you? What was laid on your heart as you took a moment to pause and listen and feel? As Kay and Ramona have shared, what has added to that mix? What is bubbling up? As we go to our first commercial break, I want to encourage you to stay present. This is your time, carved out just for you. Resist that urge to multitask or be pulled different directions. Really guard this time for you. Be present, listen, receive what's being laid on your heart, and we'll continue our conversation in just 2 minutes.
Follow Voice America at facebook.com/Voice America for juicy updates from your favorite radio shows and podcasts.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Voice America programs are now available on your favorite connected device, including Amazon, Alexa, and Google Home. Through streams with Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio, listening to your favorite show is as easy as saying the show name followed by the word podcast.
Hey, Alexa, play Finding Your Frequency podcast.
If that doesn't work, try adding on TuneIn or on iHeartRadio or on Apple Podcasts.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed those 2 minutes and had an opportunity to just catch up with yourself and hear what's being laid on your heart and spirit. I always find it feels so good to take those moments, even 1 minute at a time, and breathe and just be, and then step forward. So we've built these breaks throughout the show. They're disguised as commercials, but these are actually in disguise moments just for you to pause, to breathe, to integrate, really drink and take in all that serves and allow it to start to grow within you and release what no longer does. As we continue our conversation about how to take center stage, how to do those hard things and take center stage in our life, I am privileged and honored to introduce Ramona Baxter to you. She is a #1 international best-selling author of Fairy Tales and Street Fights. And this book is a powerful reminder that no matter how deeply we have fallen, we each possess the strength to rise up again and shine. Ramona is a mother of 4 and grandmother of 4 and a fairy dog mother of 3. She is passionate about helping you develop your inner warrior wings. Please lean in. Warmly welcome the powerful and dynamic Ramona Baxter. Welcome.
Thank you, Rebecca. What an introduction. Thank you very much.
You are welcome. Happy to have you joining us today, and just so excited to have your book out in the world, touching so many hearts and lives. And I wanted to start with why were you led to write this book, and why is it titled Fairy Tales and Street Fights?
Oh, good question. Well, as I said just a few minutes ago, I spent so many years just in a really bad place, and I had a miracle occur in my life where my 20-year addiction was actually lifted, and looking back at my life, I just had so many aha moments, and I wanted to write my book just to share that true happiness comes from living a life that's authentic. We don't have to feel like we have to live our lives for anyone but ourselves. We were put on this earth to have our own experience, not the experience our parents told us to have. So my message, a big part of my message in my book is to my readers is lose any belief that keeps you stuck in an unsatisfactory life and focus on seeking out joy every day instead. When you take on this new perspective, you'll find what resonates with you. And, you might even circle around and have a stronger conviction to be right where you started, but it will be something you gave yourself the freedom to choose. Growing up the way I grew up, those choices were always made for me. And yes, we shape our children into, it's noble and natural to give our children beliefs that work for us. But what resonated for my mother didn't always resonate for me, and I hold the utmost respect and love for my mother. She was a wonderful mother, but I raised my children to where whatever they choose is right because they choose it. I respect and honor their path because it's theirs and theirs alone.
Beautiful. Thank you. And I love your taking such a powerful stand for us aligning with our authentic truth and giving ourselves permission to choose that path that is right for us. So thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. And I'm curious, as this book has gone out into the world, and it contains so many different insights and aha moments as you share your journey and your story. And I'd love for you to share, is there a favorite moment as you just reflect back, or one of your favorite moments, because I know there were many, as the book's gone out into the world, perhaps a life touched, or a moment that just is sticking with you as the book's been received into people's hearts and lives?
Yes, definitely. Even my own family members, not my closest family members, but my own extended family members have said, "Oh my gosh, Ramona, I had no idea your life was so insane." It's, when you're a closeted addict, it's very easy to put on this act for the world and then be in such torment, behind closed doors. And as I've gotten older, one of my favorite things about getting older is just recognizing that we all have fears and insecurities, and we're all connected, and we're all in this together. So the best way to become empowered is to learn how to empower others. To say, and not be afraid to say, you know what, I struggle too. I've been there. I've been in the depths, and I have not been shy about sharing my struggles in my book, because I want my readers to know that, you know what, I'm not sugarcoating anything. I've been there, and I understand, and I get it. And when you feel that love and compassion for person on this planet, you're giving that love and compassion to yourself. That's the best way to empower yourself, is learn to empower others and help them along the way, because when you help others, you're helping yourself, and you're making yourself stronger.
Beautiful. Thank you. I appreciate you sharing that. And I'm curious, with that, what would you say to someone who is struggling right now? Perhaps they're in that street fight in life. What is it you would share with them that can encourage them or help them move forward and into that fairy tale, or that bright space in their life? What would you say, come alongside them and whisper to their heart and spirit?
For me, number one was lose the judgment. When you lose judgment towards any other person, place, or thing, because when you judge someone else, you're actually judging yourself, and it hurts. When you can forgive yourself and accept yourself and love yourself for every single thing you've gone through, there's no such thing as mistakes. They're life experiences. And we look back at an experience and we say, that didn't turn out so good for me. I don't think I'll repeat that again. But when we hold on to the guilt or the shame or the stigma that goes along with it, we keep ourselves stuck in that energy. Forgive yourself, love that inner child, like you've got to protect her or him, and you do that by loving yourself. And when you can love and forgive yourself, then it makes it easy to love and forgive others. I love apologizing to people, because for anything I might have ever done to them, because it sets me free. A lot of us think that it's other people that trip us up. It's not. It all starts with us. When we can clean our slate, and even though they might have done something horrific, one little piece that we did back is what feels yucky inside. When we clear that up, we're free. And it's amazing how joyous and how wonderful the world gets when we can just have nothing but love in our hearts for ourselves and others.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. And for anyone who's struggling right now, I hope that you just drink that in and it encourages you on your path. Now, going back to this amazing book that you've written, that you've been so authentic and transparent in, that you have created and shared with the world, that you're willing to share on that level, who was it written for? So when you started to write this and chose the words to use on each page of this book and what to share, who did you have in mind that you were really writing this book for?
Well, it's interesting, because I started my book I started telling my story when I was 4 years old. up to, being 57 years old. So that's a lot of experiences through a lot of different stages. And my most favorite thing about writing my book is I was able to go in with each chapter and tell this really crazy upside down story. But then at the end of every chapter, I do what's called warrior wisdom, and I was able to go back in and give my perspective on it today, what I know about life and what I know now, and give my input to how I now view that. And I was able to take complete ownership over my crazy situations. I lost any sort of being a victim at all, and that's very empowering when you can accept, yes, I did this, I called this in. It's very empowering because again, it sets us free. No one had a gun to my head through any of my life stories. That I put myself in that situation, even though I considered myself a victim for years and years and years. I wasn't. I had put myself there. But that's the best thing about realizing that is when I realize that, I realize how easy it is to take myself out of it because I'm not a victim. And so, no, I can step above that and I can choose something different. It all begins with us.
I love it. I love it. So as you think about the potential readers out there and anyone listening, how will they know that this book is for them?
I promise you, everyone out there will be able to identify with something, being bullied in grade school, feeling insecure because you had a dad that was absent, or getting your heart broken, or we've all experienced these things. I don't think there's a person on this planet that gets through life without experiencing really hard stuff. I've been through some painful experiences in my life, but everyone has been through painful experiences. That's just life. And when we can all connect and say, I get it. That happened to me too. And yeah, I appreciate your input on that. That's how they'll know it's for them because no matter how far you have fallen, because I've fallen pretty dang far. No matter how far you've fallen, you can rise back up again, and you can shine, and you can empower others. And you can be a source of, let's do this together.
Thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. Thank you for being willing to share your story and your life in such a way that it can serve and support and encourage and empower so many. I celebrate that. And as our time together comes to a close, did you have any final thought or share that you wanted our listeners to drink in?
Just in the street fight of life, just remember, the last one standing wins. Failure is a part of life, so don't ever let it define you. Most successful people have failed more times than they've succeeded. Failure is just simply a way of learning how not to do something. It's a necessary part of success. But the most vital action we can all take is just to get back up. That's the only thing required, because every time we fail, we learn something. We learn one more way not to do it, and we become smarter and wiser.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for joining us today. We are getting ready to go to our next commercial break. And listeners, Ramona has given us such great insight and perspective for us to really think about, add to our toolbox, and the amazing resource of her book. And towards the end of the show, we'll make sure you know how to go deeper with Ramona as well as get a copy. But for now, take these 2 minutes to really drink in all that she has shared and see how that perhaps adds to what you are needing, shifts some of your perspective, and we'll continue our conversation in just 2 minutes.
A little birdie told me Voice America is on X. Follow us at Voice America TRN.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Have you become a member yet? Sign up now to become a member of Voice America. It's always free and easy. Plus, you get to take advantage of some great member benefits. Get unlimited access to millions of hours of on-demand content across all of our channels. Keep track of your favorite episodes, shows, and hosts in your own customizable library. Find out what shows you might be interested in based on your favorites. Plus, you get insider access with our newsletter. Membership gives you more. Sign up at voiceamerica.com and click Register at the top right.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed those 2 minutes and really gave yourself an opportunity to release judgment. How powerful is that? And to claim more of who you are authentically and transparently. We have so much choice in life, and sometimes we can give our choice away or we forget. And it gets so important that we remember and that we have the power to choose how we spend our time, what we do, what we lean into, what we bring into our life. There's a product that I recently learned about and a special resource I wanted to make available to you today. It's called Bank on Yourself. Isn't that a great name? So powerful that we can bank on ourselves. So bank on yourself. Have you felt misled that Wall Street Journal, the Wall Street tells you to defer paying your taxes by saving in a 401k or an IRA, because you're going to retire in a lower tax bracket? But if that were true, why are so many retirees who followed that advice finding themselves in the highest tax bracket of their lives? It's time to get the truth and discover a better way to grow and protect your money. Bank on Yourself is the proven retirement plan alternative banks and Wall Street are desperately hoping you never hear about. It gives you guaranteed, predictable growth and retirement income. With Bank on Yourself, your plan doesn't go backwards when the markets tumble. Your principles and growth are locked in. Gives you built-in inflation protection. Your money is guaranteed to grow by a larger dollar amount every single year in both good times and bad. And peace of mind. You'll know the minimum guaranteed value of your retirement savings on the day you plan to tap into them and at every point along the way. Learn the secret to safely and predictably grow your wealth every single year. Enjoy tax-free retirement income and gain control over your money. Just go to bankonyourself.com/Rebecca. rebeccahall.com/empowering, and we'll send you a free report about the retirement plan alternative that gives you bypass banks and Wall Street and take back control of your financial future. That's bankonyourself.com/empowering for your free report. bankonyourself.com/empowering. I want to encourage you to lean in, check out this resource, learn more. I feel like the more we know, the more we can choose the direction and the alternatives and the resources and the tools that can support and empower us on our journey. I encourage you to check out Bank on Yourself. I love the name, and I love how we're talking about how we can take center stage. We can choose to do that. We can do the hard things that help us move forward in powerful and aligned ways. I'm excited to introduce our next guest. I know you're going to love her heart, her spirit, her mission, and what she's bringing into the world. Kay Bush is a #1 international best-selling author of You Can Do Hard Things, a school counselor and youth mental health first aid instructor, and has supported youth for over 40 years. She believes courage, belief, the skills of perseverance and resilience are tools that empower young people, and I would say people of all ages. She believes you can do hard things. Please lean in. Warmly welcome the powerful and mission-driven M.K. Bush to the stage. Welcome.
Thank you, Rebecca.
You are welcome. I'm thrilled to have you joining us today. I love your heart for helping the youth and how you really stand in this powerful place for them, helping them see how resilient and powerful they are and the choices they can make. So I just honor and celebrate that. And I'd love for you to share, why did you create this book? Who is it for? You Can Do Hard Things. Why was that important for you to bring forward?
Yes, it was in my heart. It was in my heart for many, many years that there was something I was learning from the many, many young people that I've sat with and listened to their stories. And there was just something that I needed to do further. And I think when I arrived there were so many things I learned from them. And could I pass those things that I learned on and put it into a book that it could connect with more teens and more young people and maybe people of all ages, and just be something that I truly did learn from them and learned how they got through hard things. And so it was a drive. I really felt there was something, and it's interesting, when the book was completed, I felt at peace that I had finally found this message and found a way to get it out in the world and share just the incredible things that I've learned. Young people go through tough things, and I've certainly seen a lot. And this was just popped as absolutely what I needed to share. Is I've seen them get through tough things and how they did it. So that became the message of the book.
So powerful. Thank you for sharing. And I love that you answered that call, that mission, that drive, and then you felt that peace. Like, I have completed my mission. I have brought forward what I'm called to bring forward. I think that's really, really powerful. And one of the things you included in your book were photos. Do you mind sharing a little bit about these images, these photos that you included?
Sure. They are all my photos, and many of them do have, a few words or inspiration or a phrase or a quote by somebody else. But those are creations, my own inspirations through the years, that as I worked through the space of sitting with a young person and often feeling, what is the message here? What needs to happen next? And those just are a product of at the end of the day, me coming home and needing to write something down to create something. And so they are photos with hopefully inspiration and words of encouragement. And they maybe served me as much as what I hope they serve in the book as well.
Beautiful. I love that. I love that additional personal touch and perspective that you have included in your book. I think that's really a neat connection point and visual for those who are reading and really drinking in all that you share in your book. And as your book went out into the world, it moved quickly. It became a #1 international best-selling book. And I'm curious what the response has been. Have you gotten feedback or a favorite thought you reflect on as you think about your book and it going out to the world? So is there a special moment that comes to your heart and mind?
Yeah, gosh, it was so exciting. It was just so much fun, the book launch and that whole process. But just hearing the responses from many people, but interesting that I think what popped for me what kind of surprised me was hearing a lot of adults say, I think this is for everybody. This is for all of us. So that was probably the biggest of just hearing so many adults say, I think this is for me too. But I absolutely, it's directed to the teens, and there are the stories of teens in it. But I love that there are, as somebody said to me, teens of all ages who need to have that encouragement and that idea of how they can those kinds of plans and those tools they can apply to their lives as well. So that was probably a big one, but it has been exciting. Just so many positive responses and people looking forward to getting this in front of teens.
I love it. I'm so excited. And I love that teens of all ages. It's just beautiful. And I know that your book, I was very inspired by it, and so I'm one of the teens of all ages there, that some of the shares and the things that people have navigated through, that young people have navigated through, were very poignant and powerful. And I'm curious if there's a story that you're thinking of or comes to your mind and heart about a teen learning to, or a young person, because I know you work with a variety of ages, learning to take that center stage.
Yes, of just so many stories, but maybe the biggest is that when they show finally their own courage to just speak up and say that there's something they need help with, so it's the asking for help, but just students who came to my school counselor office door and recalling a student who he walked in and he stood at my door and he didn't know the words to say, but he was there and he needed some help, and I was able to invite him in and have him sit down. And with that, as always, I began to hear a story that was very challenging, but that courage he had to finally come to say, I need some help, and to say, and have just that courage to speak up. And from there, just, I always could see that relief in a student's face of that they finally felt like, okay, I have somebody here who will listen. Just thinking of a specific student who did come to my door, and from there was able to start, using the tools that are in the book, but using these tools to start really taking charge of his life and start seeing what he had control over, since there was so much around him that he didn't have control. So it's just amazing moments with many when they're able to have that courage to just finally walk in and say, I need some help.
And I just think that is such a courageous moment and a reminder we don't have to do things on our own. Taking center stage doesn't mean you're by yourself. It means that you're getting help, you're getting support on the journey, and you're owning your space and where you do have choices. You get to shine in that space. So thank you for sharing that. And I think that's such an important reminder for all of us that it takes great courage to ask for help and to trust and to own the choices that we do have. Now, I know your book shares a lot of different tools that people can discover and start to put in their toolbox as we navigate hard things. Are there a couple of those tools you want to share just to give people a little bit of a taste of what they can look forward to in your book?
Sure. Yeah. As I just mentioned, the courage and asking for help are two of the tools. These are tools that don't have to be used in any particular order. In fact, I think they probably, they can happen at once, or mix them up. But I think they are tools such as just another one of be real and encouraging a young person to really try to identify who they are and who they want to be, what their interests are, what their activities they might want to be doing. I had the experience so many times of seeing a teen in this developmental stage of their life, but just not quite finding their way to really show up who they want to be, but struggling with, I'm supposed to be like this whole other group of students, a whole other group of teens, and I'm supposed to follow along with this group, the popular group or the whatever group that may be, but just seeing a lot of young people struggle with, I'm not really doing what I want to be doing. And just, so my encouragement always, really try to identify who you are. And it's a lifelong journey. Believe me, I certainly believe that for myself, but really using that, reminding yourself, am I being real? Am I being real in my life? Am I being real with what I want to do, the activities I want to do? Maybe it's a subject in school that is really very interesting, but you hear everyone else say negative things about it. Take charge of what is interesting to you. And I think that's where they really start to find their strengths and learn who they are. And that's the goal. That's the goal for them to really start identifying who they are and taking charge of the goals they want to set and the direction they want to go. And I just think that's where they really become who they need to be.
Beautiful. Well, thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. And is there a final thought or share in your heart as we get ready to go to our next commercial break? I'd love to hear.
Yeah, I think I am just this message of the book. I just am so excited to keep getting it out there. I am hearing from young people and hearing struggles, and I continue even just in my conversations now with young people of just hearing struggles, and I hope for them to find their strength in their place of control. What I'm hearing is not feeling control over their life, and it just concerns me. And I just really believe that we have to start somewhere, and we have to keep believing and believing that there are some other possibilities. So I do hope for the tools and the message of this book to just spread, and that we really can find some ways to take charge and feel in control of our lives.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing, because we can navigate and do hard things and have choice and control and bring forward those things that matter to us. And your book has so many stories of young people doing that. And I found it inspiring and I moved many, many times as I read it. So thank you so much for sharing. We're going to our next commercial break. And as we do so, listeners, I want you to think about what Ramona has shared. Think about what Kay has shared. See what is touching your heart and your spirit, and we'll continue our conversation in just 2 minutes.
Voice America is on LinkedIn. Connect with us today.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
You need to live up to your full potential. You've heard that for years, but now there's a channel to help you get there. Introducing the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Our listeners have told us that they want to be motivated, hear about success stories, and positive encouragement around the clock. And we've responded to you. The Voice America Empowerment Channel is the home of the world's top life coaches, entrepreneurs, and success experts. Listen to the Voice America Empowerment Channel. It's here at voiceamericaempowerment.com.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Find out what makes the most successful people tick. Keep listening to the Voice America Empowerment Channel. voiceamericaempowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed that time to pause and reflect on what has really spoken to your heart and your spirit. And hopefully you've also made note of these two amazing books, because these could be great resources, tools, because remember, life is not a solo journey, tools that can support you. Perhaps adding them to your library, or there's someone that comes to your heart and mind that this resource or these books could really serve and support, or even sharing the replay of the show with. So think about those things, the choices that you want to make as a result of our time together today. In fact, I encourage you to take a couple moments at the end of the show for you. A couple moments to pause, reflect, write down some things that have supported you. Look back at what you originally wrote down that you needed, that you were being reminded of when we paused and listened at the opening of the show. How has that shifted or moved forward as a result of our time together? And as a result of what you have processed, what you have heard, what you have taken in, how are you going to choose to step forward from today on, from now? Pause. Are you going to choose to pause and reflect? Are you going to choose to take action on those things that are on your heart? So I encourage you, take a couple moments, just 2-3 minutes, end of the show, just for you, to be able to really drink in those things that are important to you that you can take action on. I'm going to have our guests share their contact information so that you know that. And this is purpose. I'm done doing this on purpose. I want you to be able to connect with these experts and be able to take steps that matter to you, that encourage you. So they're going to share their contact information. That's on purpose and by design. I encourage you to listen, write it down, and then remember you can take action based on what has poured into your heart and spirit today. So with that, Ramona, I'd love to start with you. If you could give us the full title of your book again, the best way for us to connect, and anything that we could be watching for that might be coming up or you're working on.
Okay, yes, thank you, Rebecca. My title is Fairy Tales and Street Fights. I would love to hear from you. You can email me at ramona@fairytalesandstreetfights.com. My website link is fairytalesandstreetfights.com, so it's all very easy. But yes, please reach out. I would love to hear from you. You can get my book on Amazon, and I am working on the Audible right now, so that will be coming out soon. Thank you, Rebecca.
Thank you, Ramona. I'm excited. Can't wait for the Audible version as well. This is wonderful that you are bringing that forward. And Kay, I'd love for you to share. What is your contact information, your book title again, so people can write that down, and anything that you have brewing or going on that you'd like to share as well?
Yes, my book title is You Can Do Hard Things, Life Tools for Teens, and it's available on Amazon, digital and print. It's online with Barnes & Noble, and more bookstores soon to come that I'm working on, some local bookstores. And also the project that goes along with this book is the You Can Do Hard Things project. And all of my information can be found on my website, youcandohardthings.today. And I'd love to keep any conversations going around empowering our youth. So please reach out.
Beautiful. Do you mind giving your website one more time?
youcandohardthings.today.
Beautiful. Just want to make sure in case anyone missed it that they wrote it down and had that so they can connect and go deeper. I love that both of your powerful and transformational books are on Amazon. I encourage readers to lean in. I've enjoyed both of these books. They have touched my heart and my life and spirit in so many ways, and I know they will touch yours as well. I thank you all for leaning in and being part of our conversation today. And again, take those couple moments at the end of the show just for you to really think about what has and feel what has touched your heart and your spirit. And as a result of that, how are you going to choose to be? As you go back into your day, don't let it pull you in and get sucked up in it. Choose how you're stepping into it, how you want to navigate, how you want to be as you move forward. And for those of you who are facing challenging times right now, just that reminder, you can do hard things. And you can choose to be your authentic self and take center stage. So as you go forward, remember you are beautifully and wonderfully made for such a time as this. Be willing to share the amazing gift of who you are, one step, one conversation, one heartbeat at a time. Be willing to bloom where you're planted and shine. Have an amazing week, everyone, and I will look forward to talking to you next time.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall-Gruyter, next Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific, on the Voice America Empowerment Channel, with a replay on Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern and 1 p.m. Pacific on the Voice America Variety Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.